I gotta put the lotion on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Welcome to Six Flags, everyone. Yeah, where's the map?
Where are we going? This way?
Yeah, we're gonna go. It's that way. It's a long passage here. But let's
We're
keep
gonna
going,
go
okay?
with Batman and not a Batman.
Yeah. Alright, let's keep going. Hey there, ladies, this is Brian Lightyear here, and hello, my city friends. And where am I right now? I'm in Great Adventure at Six Flags. Actually, Six Flags of Great Adventure. Oh boy. Here comes the big Ferris wheel, or the big wheel so called. And here or the other ride and the other side across the the hill. Now we're heading to the other side of the ride. This is the wild park. And I have no idea where we're going to stop and heading at here the entrance. Right after a couple of hours we just got here. With the bus time. How long we just got here? It's over a bit, like between 3 or 6 hours ago. It's a very nice view. And yeah, if you guys were here, you'll be more excited. And I wish you a lot of you a very happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everyone. A few hours ago, I just got back here from the entrance, so I'm going to be eating later on. And I hope you might enjoy during the tour of Six Flags Great Adventures. And also I just want to prize for a Superman pillow, so I might be sleeping during the night after I get home. So enjoy the tour after I show you the whole kind of, well, actually it's already been a few hours before, you know, right after right now. So it's, and especially it will include it by the zoo, rides, well not the rides, but also a show. So it won't be that much before the moment after how I got on the ride. You know, they don't really accept cameras or selfie sticks. So enjoy during the view of the Six Flags. And happy 4th of July, everyone. And have a nice day and a great summer.
You have to go over a few safety rules with you. If you would please make sure that your seatbelts are buckled and that they are buckled at all times. Please make sure that all of your food and drink items are stored away. And we can ask you please do not eat or drink while the truck is in motion because it is a choking hazard and it does get quite bumpy out there. Also, if you guys would please make sure that you have a good hold on all of your personal items.
La cámara.
Hats to have a bad tendency of blowing. Also make sure that those are nice and tight. Also make sure that you have a good hold on your phones and cameras. If you happen to drop those outside of the truck, I'm sorry, but we can't stop and pick them up, and then they may not come back in the same condition that you left them. So that could just mean they have true marks on them. I'm sure you can say you went for that though, right? Alright. So happy 4th of July, everyone! Happy 4th! Woo! Hey, you guys can wave a little our gatekeeper here right there. Hello. Alright, if you guys take a look to your left, we do have our black bucks. That's what those deer-like creatures are called. Now, in this section, you'll find mostly moms and babies. You can find the males in another section of the safari. Well, the other males you will find in the other section of the safari. And then those large animals you see to your left, there's two of them. Those guys are called nilgai. Now we're coming into the Americas. This is the first official part of our safari, and it's home to our North and South American animals. So how many of you have been to America? That should be everybody. If you guys haven't been to America, I think you might be a little bit lost. Alright, so these animals all to your left here, these guys are called bison. Now the bison is the largest land animal in America. A fully grown bison can weigh around 2,200 pounds. And when their babies are first born, they already weigh around 30 pounds. And also, we actually nearly hunted our bison to extinction back in the 1800s, but through the conservation efforts of mostly Teddy Roosevelt, their numbers have gone back up to about 350,000. So they are doing very well now. Alright, these animals over here to your right, these guys are called the fallow deer. The fallow deer are related to the white-tailed deer. And they do look a little bit different. Can you guys spot the difference between the two? Because they have spots. They actually will keep those spots their entire lives, while white-tailed deer, only the babies will have spots. All these animals running around to your left there, well, these guys are called the Roosevelt elk. Can anybody tell me which Roosevelt are they named for? Teddy Roosevelt. You see, horns are made up of bone, so they will, if they happen to fall off, they won't grow back. These gray animals to your right, those are called rheas. That's what all these gray birds are called. And the rheas are related to the ostrich. They're actually a part of the rat-type family, which is a group of flightless birds. There's going to be another rhea to your left. And the rhea is a South American bird, so they are native to South America, and they can run up to around 30 miles an hour. And a pretty cool fact about the rheas is you see once the moms still lay the eggs, then they leave. It's actually Dad's job to sit on the eggs and raise the chicks. So Mom's actually off the hook for once. So can anybody tell me, what does a bison say to his son when he sends him off to school? Bison! Alright, we're crossing the Great Atlantic Ocean over there to your right, everybody, because we are heading on over into Africa now. Who's ready to go to Africa? Yeah, Africa! Welcome to Africa, everybody. If you guys look over there to your left, we do have one of our ostriches. The ostrich is the world's largest bird. A fully grown ostrich can be about 8 feet tall. And that was a male ostrich. I can tell that by the color of its feathers. Male ostriches have black feathers with white tips, and female ostriches have gray feathers. Now we do have our rhinos. There's one on your left, and there's going to be two on your right. Now these guys are called the white rhinos. The white rhino is one of 5 different rhino species. All 5 species are considered to be critically endangered because rhinos are poached or legally hunted for that horn on their nose. There are 2 more of our white rhinos over there to your right. Now those horns aren't even true horns. You see, rhino horn is made up of keratin. That's the same protein that makes up your hair and your fingernails. So if the rhino horn happens to fall off, they'll just grow a new one. Alright, over there to your left, we do have some of our African elephants. Now the African elephant is the world's largest land animal. A fully grown African elephant can weigh around 14,000 pounds. That's the same thing as 7 tons. They're huge. And we do happen to have all female elephants here at the safari. And that's because once the male African elephant gets to be about 13 years old, he will usually leave his mother's herd and he'll join up with a bachelor herd made up of all males, or he'll live by himself. Now, African elephants are considered to be a threatened species. They're a threatened species because they are also poached just like rhinos, except they're poached for their tusks. Can anybody tell me, what is an elephant tusk made of? Ivory. And since ivory can get a good price on the black market, it creates a big, unfortunate target on our elephants. Now, elephant herds always have a matriarch, so they always have a single leader, and that leader is often the oldest, the strongest, or the biggest out of all the female elephants. Our matriarch's name is Lucy. She's our largest African elephant. Over here to your right, we do actually have some of our zebras. stripes will darken to what looks like a black color, but it's actually a very dark brown. So zebras are technically white with brown stripes, not white with black stripes. We do have a couple more of our ostriches over there to your left. Now the ostrich, their eyes are about 2 inches in diameter, so that's about 2 inches across. And then the animals you see in the water to your left there, well, they are called water buffalo. Their names are Wanda and Princess Leia. They are both female. And a water buffalo will normally spend about 90% of their life in, near, or around water. And then our zebras are going to be once again on your right and on your left as well. Now, a group of zebras is called a dazzle. So I like to say when they're all grouped together, they're dazzling. So we're going to come into the wild plains here. The wild plains is home to a lot of our African hoofstock. But we also have some peacocks in this section. So keep your eyes out for them. They actually all have colorful feathers because they are all males. Now the males are the only ones that have those brightly colored feathers because they have to be able to impress the female if they want to mate. So the male has to be the most beautiful one out there. Species in the world. And then over here to your right we got some more babies. We actually have an ostrich and she's got 2 chicks with her. Just so you guys know, those chicks will not be that little for long. You see, for the first 6 months of an ostrich's life, the chicks will grow a foot with each month that they get older. So by the time they are 6 months old, they will be 6 feet tall. They'll already be almost fully grown. Over there to your left. And you may notice he's missing his strand of feathers. You see, the peacock shed those feathers once mating season is over. And then they'll grow them back around the main season next year. Over here to your right, you guys can see some more of our common elands. And there's one on your left as well. Now, I mentioned before, the common eland are the largest antelope species in the world. But their size doesn't stop them from jumping up to about 6 to 8 feet high in the air. Over here to your right, those white animals are called the Dalma gazelle. The Dalma gazelle is the largest and rarest of the gazelle species. We believe there's only about 300 of them left in the wild. That animal to your right, and there's some more of them, these guys are called the Visa oryx. The Visa oryx is a desert-dwelling animal, and they also have a baby with them, and they can regulate their own body temperature to save up what little water they can get. Over there to your left, we do have our ellipsis water buck and a plane. The ellipsis water buck, they can be recognized by a white circle around their rear ends because ellipsis does mean circle. And they're called water bucks because they do love to swim. Here's a few more of our ellipsis water buck to your left. Now we are going to have our giraffes come up close here.
Giraffe.
Now the giraffe is the tallest land animal in the world. A fully grown male giraffe can be about 18 feet tall. And a fully grown female giraffe can be about 16 feet tall. Now those giraffe necks can be about 6 feet long, but they have the same number of bones in their neck that we have in ours. So they have 7 bones in their neck. They just happen to be very, very long. Now we do have mostly female giraffes. We only have 1 male. Our male giraffe's name is Conan, and the reason why we only have 1 male is because males can be quite territorial, so they can get to be a little bit aggressive. And they actually have a process called necking, in which they will sling their long necks at each other. That's how they usually will determine their dominance. And that's kind of the main reason why the giraffes have long necks. It's not just so they can reach up the leaves and the tallest parts of the trees. Also to your left, in a moment, we're going to have our scimitar horned oryx. Now the scimitar horned oryx is currently extinct in the wild, but they are starting to be reintroduced. Just this summer they started doing that, and I am hoping that that will be successful. We got giraffes in the road. We got a little bit of a giraffe traffic jam here, everybody. Now, since these guys are going to be close to the truck, I am going to ask you, please do not try to reach out and touch our giraffes. Please do not try to reach out and touch them, everyone. This guy is Conan. Hello, Conan. So that is our only male. Hi, sweetie. Alright, so we are coming up to Camp Aventura here. Camp Aventura, you guys, you actually get to feed our giraffes. So if you want to feed the giraffes, this is the place to do that. You also get to see Bailey. She is our brown bear cub. She's absolutely adorable. She's about 5 to 6 months old. We also have a food truck here. Many of you are starting to feel a little bit hungry. Excuse me. If any of you are starting to feel a little bit hungry, and you can also refill your souvenir bottles at this food truck here. We also have a reptile house. It's located inside of Camp Aventura Outpost. We also have Archie, our giant anteater. We do have our Soaring Eagle zip line ride. We also have your Kodak pictures. This is the only place where you guys will get to pick those up. You talk to the people in the yellow shirts. We also have some air-conditioned bathrooms. We do have a smoking area if any of you happen to smoke. And we also have barn owls. And these barn owls also have babies. The barn owls are going to be, there's a building in front of the restrooms, in front of the bathrooms. There's a building that's got a metal roof. That's where you'll find our barn owls. I will let you know it is not required for you to get off here, but I highly recommend it because you really don't see these animals anywhere else, especially not our reptiles, especially not Bailey. And you also can get pretty close to our giraffes too. This is the only place you can do that. Like you can probably get closer to the giraffe than you can on the truck. So.
Tenemos que bajarnos aquí. No, allá aquí.
Snake here. There's a snake. I can't go in the high everywhere.
Because we have a really big hill coming up. So if you want, you can pretend we're going on a roller coaster. We're now coming into our Serengeti grasslands, where we're going to see some more of our African animals. And it looks like they're a little bit farther down the Serengeti here. Oh, wonderful. On your left-hand side, you'll see a white bird. And that is a peacock. But that peacock is what we call leucistic. It has a type of genetic mutation that means they can't produce certain pigments in their feathers. So it's kind of like an albino animal, but also bright light. These animals are called black bucks because they get more black as they get older. The younger individuals are more of a tan color, the older ones are more of a dark black. Kind of like how our hair turns more gray as we age, unfortunately. On your left-hand side, we're coming up to our herd of black wildebeest, also called the white-tailed gnus, GNU gnus. We do have some baby gnus, so keep your eyes out for them. I like to call them gnus. So I'll see if we can spot them. We also have some white animals too, and those are some real live unicorns. No, nobody's being about it? Okay, good. I'm glad you don't believe me. Unicorns aren't real. Those animals are called the addax, but they gave rise to the myth of the unicorn. People saw their two horns from the side and thought they were one. That's where the whole myth came from. So that's as close to a unicorn as you're gonna get. Oh, and there are these babies that I was telling you about. On your left, right by the truck, are our new gnus, our baby gnus. They have to be up and running within just an hour or two of being born. Oh, they're so cute. I think they're only a week or two old. I'm not sure though. We have a lot of babies here, so it's
2 weeks.
Janet says one's 2 weeks and one is 1 week. One ostrich egg weighs between 2.5 and 3.5 pounds, making them the largest eggs of any bird. And that's the equivalent of 12 dozen chicken eggs inside of one ostrich egg. Now, does anyone here like their eggs hard-boiled? In the morning, yeah? How long does it normally take you, ma'am, to hard-boil an egg? About 10 minutes, right? Now, that's technically not a correct nickname. They really live in the grasslands. So it's more like king of the grasslands, if you want to be technical about it. They are the only truly social cat living in big groups called prides. A pride of lions usually consists of a few males and a whole bunch of female lionesses with their cubs. Does anyone know how you can tell the difference between the boys and the girls? Yeah, very good. It's easy to tell the difference. There's one main difference. I get it? You got it. Thank you. It's okay if you charge a lion. That's okay. Cool. Anyway, so the males have those big manes, which is all the fur that's around their heads, and that helps them when they compete with other males. So it protects their throat and their neck. And that's their job, to protect their pride and their girls from any sort of threat or danger. But on a daily basis, they don't do too much. A male lion is going to sleep about 21 hours every day. If the girls don't like a boy, they can kick him out. And if a boy lion gets kicked out of a pride, he normally doesn't survive for very long. Because like a lot of my college friends, he has no idea how to find food for himself. Alright folks, we are now in Black Bear Ridge. What do you think we're going to see in here? Dolphins, right? No, of course, you're right. We're going to see black bears. This is the habitat for a North American black bear. It is a free roaming area. There are no fences here between us and the bears, except for the cubs. Now we can do that because they're one of the smallest and most docile species of bears. But speaking of cubs, if you take a look on your right-hand side, we do have a den with a few of our cubs here. There's actually 3 in this one. They're getting pretty big, so they're kind of hard to tell apart from their mom, but their mom is the one that's walking towards the back right now. But all the other ones are the cubs. We do keep them separated from the rest of the bears here because Mama Bear is very protective of her young, so we want to make sure she's nice and comfortable. And if you have really good eyesight, you might be able to see up way in the back by the fence, there is a brown bear lying up there. It's kind of confusing. Why is there a brown bear with black bears? Well, black bears don't have to be black. Like I said, kind of confusing. But that bear back there is brown in color, still a black bear by species. Just most of them are black, which is why they're called black bears. I see a few of them on your right-hand side, and we also have some lounging out on your left, too. There's this big green pond here on your left-hand side. It looks pretty yucky. That green stuff is called duckweed, and believe it or not, it's one of the bear's favorite snacks. They like to go in there, they'll eat it, then they'll come out covered in it, looking like Shrek, and then they'll eat it off their fur later. Somebody told me it tastes like broccoli, but I've never tried it. Oh, you guys want to play a game? Let's play a game. Okay, we're coming up to my game guard here. On the count of 3, we're going to shout Marco. All right, ready? See the shots coming back. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Marco! All right. Sometimes they don't shout Polo back, and I wonder if they've ever played Marco Polo. They're a lot bigger than the black bears are, getting up to 800 pounds, which is why we do have fencing here between us and the bears in this section, just as a precaution. So these are 2 of our younger bears here. These are 2 of our cubs, and we're going to see some more of the adults in just a minute. Now we can see some more coming up on our left-hand side. It's a few lounging out. We're going to see some on our right as well, so keep your eyes open on both sides of the vehicle.
can go from side to side via an underground tunnel that we have. It goes underneath the road we're driving onto the other side, so the bears can go back and forth as they please. Looks like we have some bears swimming too. We have one bear in here who's very fond of going underwater and blowing bubbles with her nose. I don't see her right now, but she's always a lot of fun. I don't know if he's gargling or not. I don't know, maybe gargling? They are very playful, definitely. And we also hide toys under the water for them to find.